Welcome in, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Welcome. How you been? Thank you for that early raid. Thank you for that. Tank Girl, where are we streaming? Where are we all coming from? Happy to have you. Welcome in, Will. Let's make some coffee. Black Desert, nice. I start all my streams off by making coffee. Welcome, Nan Reader. I got all frustrated at Claude today and canceled my membership to Claude now too. Like, I'm really tempted to try training my own small model, if only for privacy reasons. I'm really sort of lost on that one because I view that as probably the best way to go about it, but also probably one of the most expensive ways. Welcome, JK. If anyone's interested, tonight's recipe is one of the ones that's up in the Discord. We're going to be doing a puff pastry topped chicken, mushroom, and spinach ragu. I'm going to make a few slight liberties of my own to the recipe. It has an optional inclusion of white wine. I'm going to use a shot of brandy instead. And I'm also, might add some chives in there. I've got a leek in the fridge that I should probably use up in there. But you'll be able to come up with a very similar dish yourself if you follow that recipe. I was actually thinking about that today. I was like, I should try doing brandy and more brandy, cognac, that sort of line of stuff, rather than wines. Wines are great, but I open a bottle of wine and I think you need to finish that. Like a red wine, like I don't want to deal with a red wine after the first night. Like after the first night, turn that into vinegar. No, that's not gonna do me. Nice one, Marksman. Welcome in, Kid Tom. Coffee. I didn't give everyone a close up on the coffee for the cream pour. Boo. You're supposed to be looking at it a little bit closer like that. But regardless, thank you for joining. Cheers, folks. I've been drinking less coffee, but I still do coffee at the start of the stream. It's still a good break. Like, starting off stream, I'm rushing around. I'm like, can I wipe off this quick? Can I clean off that real quick? Can we do this? Can we do that? If I tied my hair up, things like that. And the coffee makes for a nice transition in my mind, or a break in my mind to, we're streaming. And it's already rolling. It doesn't matter now. Okay. So where are we starting with this dish? I think we need to break down the chicken. Which, that really wasn't a part of the recipe. It just said to use leg and thigh meat. But I'm going to break down the chicken. And I'm not worrying about cutting the leg meat. Hey, they can see me. Well, I've done most of the... You cut between the wings, the skin between the breast and the thigh meat. You break the thigh bones out of the back. You pop the joint. You make sure you get the nice oyster. This is called the oyster cut. That piece right up there, this little nugget. Sometimes you'll find fine dining restaurants actually fry these individually. They're considered like the primo cut of a piece of chicken. And from there, you can just make sure you cut it out until you get past the joint. There's usually a little cartilage still holding the joint after you pop it. And then the rest of it will just tear clean. These, you can find the joint and just run your knife through it. This one, there's a piece of cartilage in between the two pieces of chicken. You can feel it with your finger or guesstimate it like I did there. You're going to have your wing bone, or your, what do you call it? The bone you dry out and guess on. Wishbone. Run in here. It's more pronounced on a turkey, but this thin bone going here to there. You run down that, and then against the bottom bones. And then you can find the joint, you can pop out the joint. I already cut through the top of it there. There's the rest of your wishbone. We'll save the carcass for doing chicken stock, which I'll be doing, actually, I think on Sunday. Tongs, no dirty tongs. Grab clean tongs. Just oven roast them. I'll often do thighs and legs like this, whole roasted. Put them on a wire rack. You don't even really need oil or anything on them. 400 degrees, 20 minute-ish. Off the top of my head. Don't undercook it. First rule of cutting meat, I was just breaking there. Always want to cut away from you when you're cutting meat. There's a reason why real butchers who actually sit there and cut meat all day long, they wear all sorts of protective gear. Yeah, I did 2 vinegar chicken not too long ago. And my synopsis was it was delicious, and you love wine, you'll love it. New York Times has got a great recipe for that. Alright, so we're throwing the wings in here tonight, in with the chicken stock. I don't often keep the wings. And we're going to keep the breasts separate because breasts are probably going to be used Wednesday, since I don't really have other plans. Don't really know for sure though yet. Maple syrup is, well, pancake syrup has not for sure 100% won Wednesday's challenge yet. It is. Thank you for the biddies. Appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well. We've had I keep a weekly vote, and every Wednesday I do an ingredient challenge. On Wednesdays I take that ingredient and have to make both dinner and dessert. So both sweet and savory uses of it. And right now the vote is between port wine and pancake syrup. Pancake syrup is just running away with that vote, but I haven't closed it yet. Port's some good stuff. It's among my favorites of the wine world. It's definitely a dessert wine. It's definitely sweet. It's also fortified, so all of those are good reasons for you not wanting to drink a lot of it at once. Chicken breasts going in the fridge for later. Right next to that beautiful beef roast from yesterday. Bones in the freezer. Now we gotta cut up these because we need the meats for that for tonight's dinner. So for these, relatively simple. You just follow the bones. Here, this one's got a second smaller bone that you have to sort of worry about. Sometimes it isn't fully developed, sometimes it is. It's also got all the tendons from the leg. Some attractive noises coming off of my board here now. Unless it's excessive, but most chicken these days doesn't have a ton of fat on it. Certainly not compared to the duck. But we're gonna take the skin off of it here next. I'll leave that on. That's no big deal. For what I'm doing it for tonight, we're not doing crispy skin type stuff tonight. We're making ragu. So I sort of wish I had an easy way to store some of that stuff separately. Like, I throw the wings in with the carcass, but it's mostly because I don't want to keep them separate. And same thing with the skin, and maybe even, yeah. Because, like, I could do cracklings every now and then. I don't suggest you try and grab your knife by the tip like I did there. And watch your knuckles when you're doing things like this. Best way you can cut anything is down against the board. If I was saving the bones separate, that would have been nice too, yeah. We're gonna... Let's see how much that is. That seems like that's probably pretty light. The recipe calls for a pound. And that's... I don't know if that's gonna cut it for a pound. Give me your tendon. Oh, we're almost there. I think that's close enough that I'm gonna live with it. Anyone that's not Americanized, a pound is 16 ounces. And it's 13 and change, so it's a little short, but we're gonna live with it. I mean, I happen to have, like, you know, a good portion of rib roast still in the refrigerator. Let's see what spices can we throw on this early. What we got here, Discord? What we got here? Nada. Wow, there is no spice in this recipe. How did I approve this recipe? There is no spice in this. Like there's thyme and oregano, salt and pepper. Like there isn't even like. I mean, it's still gonna be delicious, but I mean, it needs some spice in life. Clean up our nasty raw chicken stuff. Get that cleaned up out of the way. Don't have to worry about, you know, oh, I need something out of the sink. Oh, there's that nasty chicken board in the way still. This is a good time to explain to chat why DMCA is not necessarily an all bad thing. How many people in chat think Ragu is a red tomato sauce that's been branded and sold for ages and not just the name of a stew? Why did I stop the music? That wasn't intentional. It's also a good example of nothing is original in the food world. Everything is stolen and just remarketed. Oh, you're right, Heather Broccoli. But I am certain there is at least a decent percentage of Americans that don't know the difference between Ragu being, you know, anything from a rabbit stew to so our chicken's set there. Let's get going with our onion and other stuff here. Yeah, but you can break down to, okay, is paella an original dish to begin with? Because look at Iranian food. Look at Middle Eastern foods. They all love cooking dishes like that where they brown or golden the rice. Then again, Italy steals everything from Spain, including most of their olive oil. I don't know why I started getting thin all of a sudden there in the center. It's not only that we consume it differently, we also genetically taste it differently. And what one person says, I'm not harping on you. I feel like I'm harping on you kids. I appreciate the chat. We don't grow it the same either. You know, we were talking the end of last stream, you know, what's the difference between a green onion and a chive? And it matters both what you're growing and where you're growing it, because or the difference between, you know, the spinach that I bought let's delabel the top of it here. Small, tender leaves. We're not doing heavy duty stuff here. Chinese spinach is it's almost like it's collard greens. They're giant leaves. I can just leave this out. Been saying for a minute now that I need to get these resharpened up properly. Or I just need to chop all the way through things. That looks like 3 cloves to me. I saw 2 new ingredients in the garlic world the other day that impressed me, that I didn't know existed. That clove was a bit ew, so we're not using that one. But I discovered there's a company selling like frozen cloves. Like they're taking garlic, they're pureeing it and then freezing it into clove shapes. And I forget what the other one was, but both of them I was like, for people that don't use garlic, not me, but I mean people that don't use lots of garlic, it's a really cool option, especially for those people that hate peeling it and all that. My biggest problem with garlic paste is it has a lifetime and people leave it in their fridge forever. And I mean, it's not the greatest flavor garlic to begin with. It's not going to be the best garlic to begin with in either of these cases. I'm taking that in stride. But for the person that just occasionally wants some garlic and wants fresh garlic and not powdered garlic, which there is a difference. Oh yeah, spring garlic, early garlic, they're tasty. Ramps, all that good stuff. It's the wrong time of year. I had hardneck garlic here most of the year this year. Garlic presses and mandolins are sort of in the same book for me. They're great if you're going to do, a case of something or absolute ton of it. Smaller, like home use, most of the time, I think the cleanup is not worth the benefit. Hey, Zeeks. Not adding salt. I'm not cutting it up that fine either. What else do we need to prep? We need to prep some mushrooms. Where art thou, my bench scraper? There you are. That is really... That's apparently like a thing with like the Little Italy restaurants in New York. There's several chefs at the Little Italy restaurants in New York that do not like America's love of garlic and feel that Americans want garlic in everything that they come to an Italian restaurant for. And for Italians, it's not necessarily used like that. We were sort of talking about celeb chefs last night. In the absence of Bourdain, not that Bourdain was like an amazing chef, but I think he had more of a food world knowledge than most. Might have to be Fran Adria. Potentially, well, it's between Keller and Fran. For those that aren't familiar with Fran, he was a Spanish chef. He was the chef of El Bulli. At one point, the top restaurant in the world. He's responsible for the foam movement and the modernist cuisine movement for the large part. And I think he's got a sort of bad name from that in that sense. What he was trying to do is sort of beautiful in my mind. He went through and was creating like an encyclopedia of foods and was grading foods from all sorts of different aspects and trying to show off those different aspects that many other people wouldn't appreciate in his food. Like, they didn't really so much, part of one of his spiels was that they didn't really care about the price of a product. They cared about the product's use in the final product, which is marketing, but I that's beautiful to me. Okay, onion and garlic set. I'm gonna throw some leeks in here too, because I got a leek. I got a leek, chat. Dark green stuff, great if you're doing a stir fry, something quick. We don't want to throw that in a soup or a ragu or something we're cooking for a while. And then we'll go from there, and we'll give this a cut like this, because leeks very often are dirty around the base where they turn white to green. This one's pretty good. way they often grow leeks, like, leeks don't want to be white like this. This is not how a leek would grow naturally. Naturally, it wants the green part above ground. And so they grow up and they start growing, and once they get to a certain point, farmers start kicking soil up around the plant, and that keeps it from producing chlorophyll. Gives us the white. And so you'll notice there's some leeks out there that they'll have a little bit of a white base to them, but they'll be much more fanned out. They'll be almost like a fern, fanned out. Where did I cut you in half? Call that. It's not. Roasting is fine. You just don't want to put it in a case where it is going to be boiling in liquid. Anything dark green, chlorophyll, along like that, generally does not do well. It makes soups, it makes stocks, it makes all that stuff a bit more bitter. And so, like, when I make stock, I wait until the last hour to put anything heavy green in it. The spinach, we're not putting in this until the last thing. About the only exception I can think of to the whole chlorophyll thing as we go into an ad is braised greens. I don't know why. They work. They're delicious, but then again, we're talking about a bitter green to begin with, so. Ever use it for decor? Not that I can recall. Yeah. Quit making noises, nose. Grocery store that I went to has humongous bags for their mushrooms. Nice fresh creminis with the veil still attached. I think we're gonna go with 5. All my shrooms should look like that, chat, but sadly, often they don't. Those were grown in the same county, so you would hope that they could get them to me in a time that there's still veils attached, but oftentimes not quite as, that is not the case. Actually, let's do that extra mushroom and just ditch the stems, because we're doing chicken stock soon. So we can save the stems for the chicken stock. So we're just gonna pop these bad boys off. No, I didn't grow up in Europe. Lived my entire life in the US. I've traveled to China. That's about it. Been to Canada a few times. I've said this before on stream. I like mushrooms, but I don't like this. I sort of tolerate creminis. They're okay. As I said before, creminis are sort of like the mushroom that they put in things to show that there's mushrooms in them. In my mind. Same thing with buttons. I like oysters. I could care less for shiitake. Shiitakes are okay in stocks and soups, but individually I don't really care for shiitakes. Portobellos I really could care less for in most cases. But love morels, love truffle when I'm not overwhelmed by truffle. Yep, Zen, they're only a couple hours apart. I think what's ruined portobellos for me more than portobellos is how many times I have been made to make and have had served to me and have seen on menus is people just drenching them in cheap balsamic vinegar, which doesn't deserve to be called balsamic vinegar to begin with, but they basically, braise it in cheap imitation vinegar. Oh, I guess we should probably turn a fan on. That might help. Throw a little oil in the pan here. Get started with our onion cooking. Hen of the Woods, that's a damn good mushroom as well. They're you don't find them nearly as much. Chanterelles, if you can find them fresh and clean. Like, I can find chanterelles a lot of the time, but they're usually pretty poor quality, and they're often not the cleanest. I think Hen of the Woods is just about gold everywhere. It's one of those ones that if you know about it, you use it, and then you don't tell anyone else. I haven't had a puffball before. Despite, I think I've seen them locally, and I haven't caught them fresh. Hen of the Woods and a lot of the other, like, we're getting to the point where we can produce a fair number of them on our own and farm them, even truffles. But actually, by the way, chat, if you're interested, there's a truffle farm on the market, in the real estate market. I think it's America's first truffle farm too, but it's in a remote middle of nowhere area. It's a giant estate and it's probably in complete disrepair. Truffle, I think, is amazing, but it has to be done delicately. I've been served truffle in ways that I didn't even want to finish what I was eating, but done right and the right point, it's delicious. That's one I can see a lot of people getting ruined, especially here in America, with places serving them truffle fries, which are really nothing but oil that's been incensed with the same smell that they use to imitate feet. Salt. I would absolutely pay for shaved truffle in a nice restaurant. I would never, I never trust truffle oil. No truffle oil is worth, unless the restaurant is making it themselves, which they aren't. And do not think that you're having a legit experience if you're buying one of those little mini truffle ones either. Like, the only real truffle in my mind are the big ones that come straight off of the airline and go to the top end restaurants in the region. Yep, Zeke, that's foot smell. Truffle fries. That was the garlic going in with all of that. Might as well throw these mushrooms in there too. Mushrooms would be best to be caramelized if we did them separately. I agree, sweet potato fries are something that needs to be more utilized. Don't know why my nose is making noises. Why is my nose making noises, chat? My allergies have actually been acting up here lately. Uh-oh. Ozzy's posting inappropriate things in the Discord. Am I gonna get banned for playing this, chat? Oh, no, we're not doing that. And while we're here, we're gonna call it for pancake syrup. Oops. Sort of working on that myself right now, Kid Zen. And so, Wednesday, Christmas, we're going to be doing dinner and dessert using pancake syrup. And if you'd like to have a say in the next vote, the next channel down here is the ingredient suggestions channel, where you can make your own suggestions. The ones with the most votes, oldest first, make it to the main vote. We'll have a new one up there soon. Go back to our recipe here. Open up a bag of chicken stock here. homemade chicken stock from the last batch. How much stock am I supposed to throw in this? I'm probably throwing in way too much chicken stock for this recipe. Yep. We'll melt it off to the side here instead. Oh, there's a huge marketplace for Discord bots, Zeeks. I went and made my earbud all quiet again. Excuse me. Next in, chicken going in with everything else. I was talking about that the other day. It's sort of interesting comparing like C to Python and comparing it to like different styles of recipe writing. Like C, it's sort of like modern French, you know, everything's someone got a place, organized. And then Python I think of as sort of like the old school, really old school books, like Escoffier-like books, where you have a sub-recipe to a sub-recipe to a sub-recipe that eventually comes together into a full plan. Wash the Jaeger out of my jigger. brandy. Enjoy it while you can, kids, then. The AI is coming for your job. You say that, but right now is the stupidest AI will ever be. Well, I say AI and I don't really mean AI. I say AI and saying AI there, I mean LLMs. Generally when I talk about AI, I mean AGI, which we really don't have. I'm sort of irritated that we had to create the term AGI because AI just was, we had to market everything as AI, so now we need a different term for what AI actually is. You'll notice the brandy is separate from the bottle. We're not creating Molotov cocktails here tonight. And I'm cooking off booze tonight. Sorry, no flames. There's some people doing some great stuff with LLMs, though. Like, there's some decent LLM video clippers out there that are using... The problem with them is pretty much all of them are using captions to tell what's going on. And I have found, like, they'll maybe pick out a good scene for me when I'm cooking something. But my best example is this. I will have a dish here that I just want to finish with a little salt or something like that. And I'll say to chat, we're just going to add some salt. And I'll go to walk back here, grab the salt, and put it in there. Those LLMs will catch me saying, and we'll add some salt here. And then cuts off me turning around to grab the salt and actually salting the dish. I'm gonna use half and half instead of cream in my normal fashion. This is in a case where we have to have the fat. Yeah, speaking of that, if there's anyone out there that wants to work with me as far as video editing and LLMs, and I have many terabytes of video data. I have every stream, well, the vast majority of my streams since I started. In most streams, I have a second recording with a sort of like security view of the entire kitchen that doesn't go out to the public, that would probably be helpful to some coders. And I started talking about it first thing in the stream, but I'm sort of torn. Like, I just canceled my Claude because I got tired of it, you know, cutting me off for the main business hours every day. Like, it's so obvious that it's just getting too busy and cutting people off. It has nothing to do with actually wanting to properly rate limit anyone. And I'm sort of torn where, like, do I go in-home? Do I start building my own small one at this point that isn't going to be as good as the giant ones, but is private and probably, you know, isn't going to sit there and say, oh, there's too many people asking me to do stuff. You can't talk to me until 1 or until 6. The base Copilot, yes. And if it wasn't for the dominance of Microsoft apps, I would probably agree with you entirely, Head of Broccoli. It's pretty handy in some other programs, though. But only for the only because of the built-in ability of it to just do things versus yeah. Built-in part of it is where they're really yeah, it's good for quick error checking. That's about what I think it's good for at this point. You have some weird error or something. What is this? Figure it out. You know? Alright, so now we're going to add our spinach in there. Your triple cleaned, triple washed spinach. And this is more than 2 cups, but I'm going to use it up. because we all know it's going to be like a 1/16 of its size when it's cooked down. But the Copilot stuff is also great with, like, if you're doing spreadsheets. If you're doing actual writing. Like, if you need fill this paragraph out for me. I gave you the facts. It's the stems. We're off with our flame here now, and going to trust that that is cooked through to a safe temperature. While we work on our other stuff. Sweat getting in my eye. It's not pleasant. Eyes are always dried out as it is between the medicines I take and my LASIK surgery back in the day. So we got a frozen puff pastry round here. That just happens to work pretty well with that. I was expecting me to have to stretch this a little bit for this. But we'll take a little bit off of the sides here. Oh, I love that I got LASIK. I mean, I don't care that my eyes are a little bit dry. Like, I did contacts for years and years and years and years. And just the daily irritation having to deal with them versus nothing at all. Nothing at all. Your eyes just work. So nice. But I got so frustrated with contacts for a while that I went back to wearing glasses. And then I was working out of my mobile kitchen, out of my trailer, and would be midday running in and out of the trailer constantly. And, you know, I'm not dealing with freezing weather, but I'd be dealing with weather that's cold enough that I'd be going from hot kitchen to outside. And so it was like 4 or 5, 6 times a day, my glasses were fogging up, and I would have to, and I just, enough. I started with the contacts that you couldn't leave in because they wouldn't let your eyes breathe. I left them in anyways all the time as a kid, but and then I moved on to dailies, or not dailies, weeklies afterward. And I also went with actual LASIK. Like there's newer methods. I went with the old school cut a flap, do the laser stuff, put it back, let it heal. The modern ones just use a laser. And I did the research on that and found out that I can have my eyes done like this. And if there's a problem later on, they can potentially use the other method later. Versus if you go in and do just the straight laser version that they're using as the standard these days, you don't really have a second chance at it. But I will tell you, that is a sort of scary feeling when you're going into the surgery and you're taking your contacts out for the last, like, I took my contacts out for the last time and tried to be like careful how I was keeping them before I realized, oh, I'm never going to use any of this again. I would say, kids on, even if, like if you got a serious prescription, wouldn't you want that much less weight on your face? Like I know glasses aren't, Coke bottles like they used to be as far as weight, but you still got some weight on your face if you got a serious prescription. So we'll start filling up our vessel here with our ragu. I definitely want to get the spinach out of here, but if we got a bunch of liquid like this, I might reduce down the liquid before I put it with the rest of it. Or if it's really runny at this point, you could even cornstarch slurry it after you take the solids out. The spinach adds so much liquid to this dish. Like, if I didn't use the spinach in this dish, we probably would have been fine using that entire thing of chicken stock. And instead I used like a half cup instead of 3 cups. Condensed cashew milk. Condensed cashew milk is cashews. If coconut's okay, I don't do coconut, but coconut milk and coconut oil. Oil for the creaminess and the heaviness. The milk for so it looks like there's milk in there. My understanding of the whole sleeping in them is really a more an oxygen thing. It can actually, it's more like it's going to cause you more likely to get astigmatisms or make your astigmatism worse. Flame off on the pan. should have the oven on already. Let's do 425 tonight. Excuse me. Sinuses, my throat lately. Everything been making noise. And I think I'm just going to do some random holes in this tonight. Just to be a little different with it, kids on. I could cut out fancy little leaf-like patterns or something like that. We definitely need some sort of space to allow some air out, and we want to allow enough air and bubbling out that it doesn't just... The sauce is going to boil, and if the sauce boils and gets over the top of the pastry before the pastry begins poofing and puffing up, the sauce will both prevent it from going up and will make it like soggy. And so we want to make sure and prevent that from potentially happening. I was semi-inspired by, I actually was looking for inspiration for what I could do for the top of it, and I obviously wasn't hugely inspired, but I did notice a really cute pie idea that I need to try sometime when I'm doing several pies, and that is doing 2 or 3 pies with a lattice almost of a whole bunch of holes or stars cut out, and then using the stars and holes that were cut out for the topping of a different one. I'm smelling the pan back here. And I'm going to pinch the edge. Just because I feel like it. It's only my second time working with this puff pastry. Flavors, nah. It's an actual butter puff pastry though, so that's a big plus in my mind. I'm gonna egg it. gonna get eggy with it. Because they looked like cut pieces. Oh, you meant the small little circles. I could have put the small little circles on top. I should have probably done that. A little too late for that. Don't have an egg, don't want to waste an egg. You can use butter, you can use mayo, you can use coconut oil, you can use dairy. They will all help get you a nice browner crust. And then we're going to put this on a pan and parchment, just in case it spills over. And we're waiting on the oven to preheat, and then we're going to wait on this to bake. I'm unsure if I've probably used this apple corer to cut more pastry than apple. Of course, it's the whole point of spending the money for the puff pastry. If I just wanted to add butter into it, I could have done that. No, we need the heat for this. We need to boil that butter in this crust in order to get that poof. It's good for regulating your temperature of the cookies. You can get a better bake on your cookies without torching the bottom using parchment. But it's also great just for keeping your pans a little bit cleaner. As you can tell by looking at that pan, I'm of the opinion that when it comes to sheet pans, you just need to get the major dirt off of them. They're gonna get dirty. They're gonna get that oil cured look to the metal from the oil baking into the metal, like a cast iron. And like, for the amount of work that you're gonna spend getting that cure back off of them, getting those pretty stainless steel sheet pans back, you're gonna ruin it way quicker. I think lifetime spending money, just let them be ugly. But that's sort of in the whole Olive Garden doesn't put salt in their water because it lets their pans last longer, sort of a thing. Are you really worried about how long that pan's really going to last you? We're still not hot enough. Damn it. Why didn't you preheat the oven earlier, Jay? It's when it comes to like, and one of the primary things, reasons that I say it wears out a sheet pan too quick, is one of the primary things you want a sheet pan to be is flat. Like, I don't know how many bakers out there could care less what their pans look like as long as they're flat. And yeah, you're just gonna dent it all out of shape sitting there perfectly scrubbing the thing. Oh, dad joke. I thought that was legitimately someone talking about it's supposed to be like downpouring in, you know, region Northern California for like the next week. All right, going into that oven with this. We'll take a look at it in 20. As for the temperature, I set the oven to 425. And, oh well. Set it to 425. I'm waiting for it to finish its reheat to 425 after putting that in the oven and reducing the temperature in there. And now I'm going to cut that temperature back down to about 400 now. No, I don't do math. I was already to the point in my life where I'd almost given up on calculators for Google. So, I mean, now I'm going back to calculators because Google sucks these days. All these LLMs that we have are what Google should have been 5 years ago. If not for them reducing everything down to sponsored web pages and Fahrenheit's a better scale for cooking anyways, in my opinion. Sure, you can sit there and tell me all day that Celsius is more accurate, it's more easier to relate to. It's still 30 degrees outside every day. At least we have some variety. It's like anywhere from the 50s to the 90s here. There's a much better range to Fahrenheit in my mind than there is to Celsius. Yeah, but I'm not a scientist. I'm using it real world. You know, like, if we all wanted to be scientists, why aren't we doing it in kelvins? Yeah, Will. Let's see, we're done with this. Chicken stock. How do I want to deal with that? How do I want to store that? I think we're just going to put you in a measuring container for now. Did you know in America we have two versions of the U.S. foot? Not in America, in the U.S. we have two versions of the U.S. foot. There's only a microscopic difference between the two of them. But using the wrong one has caused several architectural issues where floors had to be deleted. That sort of a thing. Like, you're never going to come across it as a layman as a problem. But if you're, like, designing football field size things, it might be an issue. Did you know, Zen, that all of the US standards are based off of metric ones that are converted back to them these days? In order to come up with the official value of a modern day pound, they use the metric kilogram standard. Not only do we use a separate, we create it based off of it. Really, Will? You haven't moved on to bits? It's just digital gold? Isn't it hilarious that I don't even really watch CNBC anymore. I used to watch CNBC pretty regularly. But, because I liked financial news they care about the money, they didn't care so much about the politics back in the day. Now they care about the politics. That CNBC sits there all day long comparing cryptocurrencies to gold while selling gold in their commercials all day long. I have zero desire to really visit or live in the UK. I do have an appreciation for a striking number of UK artists, though. I seem to have a thing for British musicians. I seem to have a thing for, minus the Beatles. I'm not a Beatles fan. Sorry, chat. And I have a thing for several UK movie makers, too. Runaway spinach leaf. Escapee. But I think we're going to do a little AFK here while we wait for these last 8 minutes of the baking. And I shall be back. Let's see, what do we have set up for our AFK right now? Myself. Is there nothing in that? What is going on here? Why aren't you playing commercials? There we go. They being difficult with me. All right, folks. I will see all your lovely faces here in a little less than 6 minutes.
Is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's Family Wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice, and everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And that's right, the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, you insist on Welch's Family Wine? You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size, and you enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
I have for years. But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
3, 2, 1, blast off. She's up. Come in ideal countdown control. Ready for second launching.
Atlas moving into position.
Fuel her up.
All set.
Countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! There she goes!
Yes, you can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
If you're a student, a mother active in club work, a man who brings work home from the office, this was made for you. The Remington Office Writer, a new kind of portable designed to give you the extra features you need. King-size carriage, so long it can handle a sheet of school notebook paper lengthwise. Look, the Office Writer types nearly the full 11-inch length of the paper, the only portable it can. The Office Writer types up to 10 carbons, so that even the very last copy is easy to read. Cut clear, clean stencils unlike any ordinary portable. See the exciting new Remington Office Writer at your dealers. The price only $149.50, carrying case at slight additional cost. Available after a small down payment for only $1.50 a week. Terms payable monthly, including taxes and a small carrying charge.
Well, no wonder my laundry bill is so high. All those napkins last week.
Doeskin.
What?
You should use doeskin dinner napkins.
Paper napkins? Oh, no.
I don't mean thin little paper napkins, but doeskin dinner napkins. You'll love them.
Everybody loves doeskin dinner napkins.
These soft linen-like napkins are two-ply in smart formal fold, in white and in beautiful pastel colors. And doe-skin dinner napkins are big. They cover your whole lap, and they stay put. What's more, they last throughout the meal, and they leave no lint.
But they are nice. And they would save my linen.
They save you money, too. Doe-skin dinner napkins cost only 49 cents for 5 dozen. That's a fraction of a penny apiece.
All right, Dottie.
You'll find doe-skin dinner napkins, doe-skin facial tissues, and other doe-skin products at your favorite grocery, supermarket, department store, or drugstore. Look for the brown dispenser box.
Doe-skin.
Started out where cable cars play this song.
Not right at home because very long.
From San Francisco, famous for food, comes Rice-A-Roni, the exciting new side dish. Here at last is a welcome change from potatoes. Now you can serve Rice-A-Roni, a delicious side dish with meat, chicken, or fish. And you make Rice-A-Roni in minutes. Everything's right in the box. A packet of soup base, rice, and vermicelli that you brown in butter. Add the special herb-flavored broth, and in minutes, Rice-A-Roni. Fluffy, fragrant. A wonderful change from potatoes. Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
Welcome back. Just in time for a timer to go off here. Let's see what we got going on down here. Oh, we want to give that a little longer, I think. I'm going to give that another 6 minutes until I take another look at it. I love all those old ads. Some of them are so inappropriate for modern day. We didn't get too many of the inappropriate ones there. The one that gets me every time is the commercial with the Charles Schultz peanuts, all smoking cigars. Or the ones that are just so obviously heavily, you know, the man's got the money, we're selling to the man even though the woman's got to deal with it. The old school commercials. Oh, it's in the list there, kids. Didn't play tonight, but it's in the playlist. It's a Ford commercial, actually. I'm trying to relate who in Mad Men you would be. Yep, there ain't no... I don't have a dishwasher machine here. I am the dishwasher here. That used to be my grandmother's joke. Where's your dishwasher? She's pointing at my grandfather. I originally was looking for, or didn't care that the place didn't have a dishwasher. I thought it was almost a perk in order to give me a little activity to clean up, you know, process everything. I've been living here long enough that I could live with a dishwasher now. Well, when I went to the Culinary Institute of America, the motto was mise en place. Now it's some like McDonald's, like we love food or something. Esque marketing plan. Only if you're doing the math. But you see what I mean by the sauce getting up? That did happen here. Like, we got the sauce to overflow and pool over here. And you can see even, you know, like, it didn't puff up a ton over here, but it did considerably more than it did in through here. Maybe the angle camera will give you a little bit better idea of, you know, the poofiness difference. Like we got some straight up bubbleage over here, and because that got the liquid over the top of it. The pastry will be cooked through, like it won't be raw flour, like it'll be safe to eat. It's not going to be it's going to be soggy. This is not going, well, it's going to be soaked full of that, and then it's going to, if you let it sit, that's probably some great eating next day, next couple of days. But compared to fresh eating now with the nice golden top here, like this is like prime dinner area for me tonight. Get some photoage here. I do believe this is where we call it for this evening. I shall be back on Wednesday for my normal Wednesday stream. I'm going to be doing pancake syrup for my weekly ingredient challenge this week, which is sort of fitting for the holiday. We can do some fun stuff with pancake syrup. I'm purposely using the term pancake syrup because that leaves me options. It doesn't have to be maple syrup. You all voted for pancake syrup. My VODs are free on YouTube. I have them set to subscribers only on Twitch because Twitch doesn't seem very interested in storing them long term or archiving them or anything like that. And so I'm trying to move all of that sort of traffic to YouTube versus here on Twitch. And you can see pretty much all of my streams back to the beginning of time on YouTube as well. They are all out there. I shall be back here on Wednesday. I said getting in circles here. I hope you all have an amazing evening, great start to your week, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a great night.